Happy Groundhog Day. This is so exciting, isn't it? I guess. Not really. I don't think I've ever really been excited about Groundhog Day, about whether Groundhog sees a shadow. How do I know if he saw a shadow? Maybe he just came out of the hole and maybe he had a shadow, but he didn't look at it. It's really confusing. Well, something else, if you want to look for something to celebrate, today's date is 2/2/22. And I guess the only thing cooler than that is a couple more weeks from now when it's 2/22/2022, right? I guess. Here's the thing. I've never watched the classic movie Groundhog Day. I'm 40 years old. I've never seen the movie. Good chance I never will. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. And when I tell people I've never seen it, they're like, "You've never seen Ground?" I haven't. And I know what it's about. I get the concept, you know. And then maybe that's part of the reason I don't want to watch the movie. I don't want to watch the movie that just like, it's kind of the same thing over and over. Because I'm an Enneagram 7, so I don't want to be bored. And to me, that just kind of sounds like not fun if it's the same thing over and over. But there are movies like Groundhog Day too, where ultimately this person keeps waking up. It's the same day over and over again, and they have to try to figure out how to get past it. I remember there was an episode of The Simpsons that way. There was some Hallmark movie starring the guy, like Zach Morris, you know, from Saved by the Bell. It was like a Hallmark movie that my wife, you know, wanted to watch a couple years ago. So this is a common thing. This just like with a road movie where two people are on a road trip and they learn a lot about each other and themselves in the process. This is its own genre, you know, this whole Groundhog Day concept. And as I am going further down the path of Enneagram, I am a certified Enneagram coach. Here's an epiphany I had. Because a common question people have about Enneagram is, well, can you ultimately, like, what's the end goal here? What are you striving for? If you're not able to change your Enneagram and become a better Enneagram, then what do you become? And my answer is you become the best version of your number. And the way you become the best version of your number is to find out your growth number. So I'll give you an example. A number 4 Enneagram. I have a friend from the gym. That's what he is. He's a number 4. Well, the best version of a 4 is to ultimately become more like a 1, which is a perfectionist. So that's the best growth for them, is to become more of a perfectionist. Now what's funny is, for me being an Enneagram 7, the worst thing I could do is to become a perfectionist. 7s make the worst perfectionist. We're not detail oriented. We're pragmatic, but we're not detail oriented. So ultimately, I would make a horrible perfectionist. I remember as a kid, I tried to be one, and I realized, nope, I don't have what it takes. So actually, my stress personality is, when I'm stressed, I naturally become more of like a bad perfectionist, because that's not my growth, but it is for a 4. So here's what I was thinking. What if, at whatever point in your life, for me it's age 40, understanding that I am an Enneagram 7, it makes me think of Groundhog Day. This concept of, what if you just kept waking up day after day and nothing really ever seems to change? But then suddenly you understand what your Enneagram type is. You understand what motivates you, you understand your fears, you understand how to become better, how to avoid becoming worse, and suddenly you start living your life in a way that is suddenly better. Better for yourself, better for others. And that's how I feel personally. I feel like, okay, let's assume I'm about halfway through life at this point, being age 40. Okay, well, what a gift I have now. Now I understand the roadmap of how I'm built and how I'm wired. So that the second half of my life, I get to have a much better shot of reaching my full potential and making the most out of life, because that's what Enneagram 7s really care about. You'll hear it said that we don't want to be in pain, we don't want to be bored. Ultimately, I think it's more about making the most of your life. And I think no matter what Enneagram you are, don't we all want to make the most of our life? And isn't that something important? It's hard to do, though, when you don't understand yourself. So I do want to encourage you to understand which Enneagram you are. I've made plenty of videos about it on this channel. You can just go to this little search emblem and type in Enneagram and look at all 9, and you can find out which one you are. And I'll be happy to be your guide as a certified Enneagram coach. But it does kind of seem like that Groundhog Day does reflect real life a little bit, because a lot of days you wake up, it is just the same, nothing changes. But if you understand yourself better, I think life can become more exciting and not so much on repeat. Your comments are right here.